Hey guys, I hope you're all doing really well. I'm Allure Cosplay, and today we're going to start on Princess Irulan from Dune 2's dress. Let's go! I took an old tank top I know fits me, and I pinned it to the fabric that I got. I'll have to say I did look into actual metal fabric. However, after buying a small piece, I deemed it way too expensive for an entire dress. So I got these little pieces out of the fabric store. They were literally the ends of the roll, and there was only 3 or 4 pieces left. So I got basically the best of them, and they were not all the same size. Also, I tried drawing on this with fabric chalk, but it was not happening. I use my Warbler cutters for this because the entire thing is made out of little plastic sequins, and the scissors were not faring very well through it. I'm not gonna lie, I absolutely hate the mess that this fabric creates. Alright, so here's my issue. This fabric came in 3 separate pieces, not as a one long strip of fabric. So I'm trying to line up the top piece with the bottom of the fabric, but it turns out they're not all the same size. I already tried the third piece, but that third piece is about the same size as the second piece and not nearly as long as the first piece that I've already cut. Of course. Of course that would happen. By the way, this is the back of the fabric. This is what the actual fabric looks like. It looks kind of like chainmail from afar if you like really squint at it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to line the top part of the dress with this seam right here, and I'm gonna cut out this black strip. I am then going to not cut out that part of it. My cats are fighting. Now where was I? I'm not going to cut this small little mesh part on the very bottom, and that's gonna be the back of the dress. I'm not gonna leave it as a mesh. I'm just gonna simply take a strip of the other fabric and paste it on top of that mesh. Is it going to look ghetto? Probably. Am I still going to do it? Yes. If you're asking yourself, why am I not just making this shorter? It's because I'm pretty tall and this is gonna look really awkward on my body if I cut that much out of the dress. It's gonna be basically like just above my ankle, which is just kind of weird. I have very carefully put the garment inside out. It's only safety pin to me. It's about the correct length, but over here around the armpit I need to take it down a little bit. It is very scratchy because this is supposed to be the outside and it's currently on the inside of my body, but hopefully I won't have that issue for very long. The rest of it looks okay though. I both sewed and glued through most of the seams, and that's because the fabric tends to unravel and then the sequin starts falling out, kind of like pantyhose. So I had to glue it anyways. Eventually, I discovered that just gluing it was just good enough, you know, and I did that. This is the type of glue I had. I do switch to a different glue later, and that's just because I ran out of this one. If you're curious, I'm using invisible thread. It's kind of like really, really thin fishing line. It's not the strongest, but you can't really see it after you sew it on this kind of fabric especially. So it's up to you if you want to try it. And here I'm gluing a piece of fabric to the mesh that I had left. This is going to be on the back of the dress, and we're just not gonna take pictures there. That's okay. Also, these seams were really, really scratchy, so I had to cover it in something. Here, I'm just starting to work on a pattern for the sleeves. I do end up changing the pattern quite a few times. That's okay, that's the process. My pattern was a little bit rounded off, but then I figured out that it was a little bit more angular and squared off, so I decided to fix that. Yes, this is Christmas wrapping paper. It works wonders for patterns. I also noticed the sleeve had a point to it, so I cut that in here. What a glittery mess. Since there's only one point of attachment for the sleeve and the dress, I sewed and glued the seams, but also I made the band a little bit thicker so that it would hold the weight of the entire sleeve. And here is the dress. I am wearing a... Let's try again. Here is the dress. I did buy a under silver dress that I wanted to glue to this dress right on the seam line, and then cut this out because this fabric is quite see-through and also really pokey, so I wanted something kind of underneath. I've only worn it for 5 minutes and it's already kind of fraying this part of the fabric. It does come with a hood though, and I was wondering if maybe I can use that as like the liner of the headpiece. We'll see how that goes. Also, this is my cat scratching post. And I was thinking about the seams. They're kind of still just glued together and not really laying flat in any way, shape, or form. So I might have to just glue the seam down on the inside a little bit. I kind of gave up on sewing on this because honestly glue works just so much better, and it holds it so much better together. I am proud of how the sleeve turned out. It fits really well over here, and it's the correct length. Like, it covers most of her fingers, but it's in a triangle shape, so she can use the palms of her hands still. The only thing is, over here, this part is a little bit thicker. In the movie, it's way thinner, but also in the movie, they use actual chainmail, and I cannot afford chainmail, so because this is the only seam that supports the entire sleeve, like this will all be cut out. I made it a little bit thicker so that there's more surface area to support the whole sleeve. Here I'm gluing both dresses together as well as pinning them together so the glue can dry on the correct spot. Here I'm cutting out the extra fabric. And I'm gluing down those seams so it doesn't look so weird. There's a cutout pattern on the front of the dress, which honestly I could not achieve with this kind of fabric because it would have just frayed all around each hole, so I decided to just paint it. No, I didn't measure any of this. Honestly, I just freehanded it. I used some tape to mask it off, and then I just dabbed it with some paint on top. On every reference photo, the cutouts look like they're darker negative space, so I chose a shinier gunmetal gray kind of a paint to mimic that. Did it turn out perfect? No. Am I happy with it? Yeah, it's alright. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye!